He's back with a vengeance, back with anger as his henchman. He'll have his sword at their throats in a second, hollering to the hostages, "You should have learned your lesson." Desperate. He was did wrong and he couldn't find an exit. So he released his peace, deserted common sense. Now he's followed by police. At least he's not dead. But as long as he is vengeful, there's a price on his head. His skin's no repellent to lead. Bullets penetrate as easily as butter finds bread, it was said. Vengeance belongs to the Lord. Couldn't tell him that when his friends were headed to the morgue. This was cutting-edge news to him, like he was taking in swords. When he heard they were killed, he felt his only option was war. Guns to the sky, heart on his sleeve, tears to the floor. And he bled like his friends, but his cut wasn't fatal. His cut severed the connection of his sanity, unstable, and forced him to use the money he used to use to bring the bread to the table. To create his own horror story, he used the gun to write the fable. So he looked and he looked, searching everything he could, every phone, every book, to find the culprits who killed his friends, and he took almost every hour out his day, but he seemed to overlook his vengeance was going to be the cause of a menace, and that his actions could easily lead to a sentence. If only he could be appeased, but he seemed to be hectic. He was dyslexic. He couldn't really read his direction. He couldn't really see where he was headed. Tunnel vision brought about by the vengeance. It came time where his vision would lead him to correction, but he turned the other cheek and raised his gun. Rejection. Finally, he found out who the guys were, and in seconds, thoughts of their demise filled his mind. What an entrance. Blueprints printed, he schemed to leave them red. Blood-stained patterns like ink blots manifest in his head. Remembering the horrific sight that he saw when his friends were at the crime scene dead, he grabbed his gun and didn't listen to a thing that anybody said. Instead, he got in his car, put the address in his GPS. He rode with death down the block, passing a CVS, seeing red at every turn, just like he thought previous and DVS he became when a smile broke the plane. Of a twisted man who in some twisted way was going to take back what was his in the name of his friends. But in the end, what could it only lead to but a repeat in a cycle that transcends through the hatred, through the bullet's contact with the victim, resulting in bullets lodging themselves deep but never striking an end. He pulls up to the house to which he was led, heard their voices, the same ones that were on repeat in his head. Hearing the exact voice, that was the last voice his friends heard before they were dead. Rage manifests. Vengeance made his humanity hang by a thread, snip. He busted the door down and shot a bullet through every word that they said, silencing them forever, their death siphoned through lead. He then opened his eyes and finally saw what he did. He killed that man, his mother, and even his kid. Headshots. He got his bullseye. I guess that's what you get when you're shooting with a bullseye. He wanted to see red. It was everywhere, but he cried, falling to his knees, sobbing, because he finally realized he was going to go to jail forever, and the innocent died. He killed the one who killed his friend, but there were too many for an eye for an eye. His life fell through the balance, his guilt beyond repentance, driven by a force he let become irresistible. Vengeance. Locked and keyed, he will look for light, but never again will he feel its presence. The cycle of vengeance continues. One by one they fall short to its venue, each trying desperately to become like the one they want to avenge, and becoming successful, thus never resulting in an end.